Have you ever felt like life keeps throwing punches at you, one after another, while everyone else seems to be cruising through? Like no matter how hard you try, the weight on your shoulders just keeps getting heavier. It feels unfair. It feels lonely. And sometimes you question everything. Why me? Why is it always me who has to struggle? But what if I told you, the pain you're feeling is not punishment, it's preparation. You're not being broken, you're being built. What if I told you, it's not a coincidence? In fact, it might be the clearest sign that you're one of the chosen ones, the ones meant to rise, to lead, to carry something bigger than themselves. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal some deep, eye-opening reasons why life is always harder for the ones who are meant for more. These aren't just theories, they're truths. I wish someone had told me when I was in the dark. So stay with me, because this might just change how you see your struggle forever. Now, first understand this truth. Life doesn't hand strength to anyone. It forges it. And for the chosen ones, the people who are meant to lead, inspire, or make a difference, this process is never easy. They are built through pressure, pain, and powerful lessons that most people never face. Think about it. Diamonds aren't formed in comfort. They're formed deep beneath the earth, under intense heat and crushing pressure. Just like that, the chosen ones go through trials that feel almost unbearable. Not because they did something wrong, but because they're being prepared for something greater. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glide through life, while you're constantly fighting just to stay afloat? It's not weakness, it's training. Life puts weight on your shoulders because one day you'll need to carry others. It gives you storms because one day you'll have to lead people through theirs. Even science supports this. Studies show that people who go through adversity early in life often develop higher levels of emotional resilience, empathy, and problem-solving skills. These are the exact traits that leaders, visionaries, and change-makers are made of. But here's the hardest part. While you're in the fire, it doesn't feel like growth. It feels like chaos. It feels like failure. But when you look closer, you will find that every struggle has shaped you. Every setback has taught you something. Every heartbreak has expanded your capacity to feel, to lead, to understand. If your life has felt unusually hard, maybe it's because you're being shaped for something unusual, something big, something few are ready for. And that's not a curse. That's a calling. The chosen ones are not wired like everyone else. From an early age, they feel different. While others are content following the crowd, they question things. They feel a pull towards something deeper, something more meaningful. But that difference, it often comes with a price, loneliness, misunderstanding, and rejection. Leaders walk roads that others avoid, and if you're meant to lead, life doesn't let you stay comfortable. It separates you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. You might notice that you've always felt like an outsider, like you don't quite fit in, even when you're surrounded by people. That's because your path isn't meant to match theirs. The world doesn't teach leaders how to lead. It often tries to silence them. That's why the chosen ones are misunderstood. When you dream bigger, feel deeper, or speak truth others don't want to hear, you become a target. People may label you as too intense, too sensitive, or even too ambitious. But the truth is, you're just awake in a world that's still asleep. Remember this, every major voice in history, whether it was a prophet, a reformer, a thinker, or a revolutionary, was isolated before they were celebrated. Leadership doesn't start on stage, it starts in silence, in struggle, in seasons where no one claps for you, and yet you keep going. If life keeps pushing you away from the crowd, maybe it's because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out, to lead, to heal, to build something new. And sometimes that means walking alone until others are ready to follow. And it's not the end. It's the beginning of something powerful. Now here's something people rarely talk about. When you start growing beyond the limits the world placed on you, the world tries its best to push you back, and sometimes even very hard. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your very growth threatens the systems, beliefs, and people who benefit from your silence. If you're the chosen one, your light will naturally expose darkness. Your healing will challenge dysfunction. Your ambition will stir insecurity in those who gave up on their own dreams. That's why chosen ones often face resistance. They can't explain sudden betrayals, unexpected losses, doors that slam shut for no reason. It's not always personal, it's spiritual, it's systemic. The higher you rise, the more friction you'll face. Ever noticed how the moment you try to change, whether it's breaking a toxic cycle, setting a boundary, or chasing something greater, everything seems to go wrong? That's not bad luck. That's opposition. Because when you level up, you leave behind people, patterns, and places that were never meant to go with you. Even your own mind will sometimes fight your progress. Fear, self-doubt, and guilt will try to pull you back to what's familiar, even if it's painful, because comfort is safer than change. But chosen ones are not here to play it safe. They're here to shift things, to disrupt cycles, to raise the standard. So if you feel like the world has been coming at you harder ever since you decided to grow, evolve, or walk in your purpose, you're not dealing with something unusual and unexpected. In fact, you're experiencing the natural resistance that comes with real transformation. If you've been wondering why life feels so much harder for you, now you know. You're not cursed. You're not broken. You're chosen. You're being built through fire, not to destroy you, but to make you unshakable. You're walking a lonely path, not because you don't belong, but because you're meant to lead. And you're facing resistance, not because you're weak, but because your growth is a threat to everything that wants to keep you small. I know it hurts, it's heavy, and some days it feels like too much. But listen closely, you are not alone. Every chosen one before you has walked through darkness before they could shine. The pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It's shaping you into someone who can carry purpose, lead with truth, and lift others out of their own struggles. So don't give up. Don't shrink just because it's hard. Hard is a sign you're on the right road. You weren't meant to live a small, quiet life. You were meant to rise, to shake the ground, to leave a mark that matters. That kind of life takes a different kind of strength. And guess what? You have it. So the next time life hits you hard, remember this: you're not being punished. You're being prepared. You are the chosen one, and your story is just getting started.